What's good, YouTube? DM Gaming here, guys. Hope everybody's having an awesome day, awesome morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whenever time it is that you are watching this video. Guys, in today's video, I am going to be talking about playing with the big time teams. You know what I'm saying? We've already talked about the pros, the cons, the goods, the bads, the uglies, was playing with the smaller schools and how much of a challenge it's going to be. But nobody has talked about what it's going to be like playing with the big time programs. And so in today's video, I kind of want to talk about that and primarily your coach's contracts. What's going to be the risk versus reward for playing with a big time team? We already know that playing with a smaller, not so good team, the risk versus reward is, hey, you're going to be taking a long time to build a program, guys. And I want to clear up some confusion because in the comment section, I've seen several people talk about, oh, it shouldn't take me 4 years to get to the national championship. Guys, you got to understand this. Winning a national championship doesn't make you a big time program overnight. Even in NCAA 14, if I played with a smaller ranked school, a smaller size school like a Louisiana Tech or something like that, a Central Michigan, and let's say I put myself in the SEC and I won every single game, made it to the BCS championship and won the national championship. Well, in the offseason, whenever you got to see your school's prestige, it didn't jump all the way up to 6 stars in every category. No, as a matter of fact, it still took 3 to 4 years before you got to be like a 5 or 6 star in almost every category. And even then, some of those categories took even longer. So, guys, when I'm talking about building a program, I'm not talking about winning a national championship in your first 2 or 3 years. No, it's going to take longer than that to build a program. It's going to take longer than that for your status as far as getting guys to the NFL raises. It's going to take longer than that for you to upgrade facilities and things like that. You're not going to be able to go from a 2-star facility school to a 5-star just by winning the national championship. Look at Appalachian State. They literally beat Michigan and then what, in 2012 maybe, something like that, knocked off A&M, and nobody still regards them as a top 25 program even to this day, and they are very successful. So understand that going in, guys. But this isn't about them. I just wanted to clarify that, guys. Let's take a look at the coaching contracts here, because this is going to be the foundation for everything that I talk about today in reference to the bigger schools. Okay, so we know that NCAA 14, and I'm just using this as a reference point, all right? In NCAA 14, you had coaching contracts, and if you met those contract goals, then you got an extension. Did you have to take that extension? No, you can either deny the extension, go into the coaching carousel, try to find another job, or whatever the case may be. Now, the schools that we're going to be looking at range from offensive coordinator to defensive coordinator, head coach, and they range from a lower tier school to a higher tier school, so we have that reference. So we're looking at offensive coordinator for Central Michigan right here, okay? He's 2-year contract, currently 44% starting job security. All right. And then it lets you know if you're getting close to being fired or you're getting close, your job is secure, you want an extension and stuff like that. And so the goals are this. He hadn't signed this contract yet. Okay. 2,800 plus total offensive yards each season. Okay. Now, already, guys, if you are a bigger program, you better be having over 2,800 yards of total offense. So, you know what I'm saying? But looking at the contract here, it is a huge impact as to whether this offensive coordinator succeeds in his job or fails in his job, okay? The next tier is 55% pass completion over the entire contract. So over 2 years, your offense needs to have a positive 55% pass completion, okay, percentage. 2,000 plus total offensive yards in 1 season, all right? So, and it's weird because the top one is 2,800 total yards each season. Now, this one is saying 2,000 for 1 season, okay? And then the next one, 2,400 total offensive yards each season. Okay, so if he reaches the goal, and then the last one is win 8 games in a season, which is the smallest impact. It's kind of weird. I don't know. You would think that winning 8 games would have a larger impact, but I also understand why it doesn't, because he's the offensive coordinator. He doesn't control the defense and stuff like that. So if this offensive coordinator, if you were hired as this offensive coordinator, these would be your contract goals, and they all have a big impact or a small impact, okay, regardless. Now, the interesting part is that the top goal here with 2,800 total offensive yards each season, if he succeeds that, then it's a major impact. But if he doesn't, then it doesn't affect. It doesn't affect. There's no risk versus reward right there. But you're still kind of getting to look and see how each team has different goals and different structures. And if you meet those goals, great. If you don't, then you run the risk of being fired. All right, so let's look at the next school. This is a defensive coordinator this time, and it's for Florida International, FIU. It's a 3-year contract, different term, different length, okay? Under 2,400 yards allowed in each season, has a huge impact. Another big impact, 3+ interceptions in each season, okay? Huge impact. But if he fails it, not so much. But it's also interesting to note that this is their starting job security. So with the offensive coordinator, his job is not even secure. Like, they're saying, hey, you're starting off with a 44% starting job security. And then for FIU, it's a 41%. So you already are under the gun. This means that you can sign these contracts. And some schools, hey, your job is safe. And in some schools, hey, we really need something big to happen. Your job is not as secure as you would like it to be out the gate. So that's a lot of pressure, okay? But 1+ defensive touchdowns in each season has a pretty good impact. 20+ sacks in each season, and then win 8 games in one season. And notice how this one doesn't have an impact if you fail that as well. So that's interesting to note. Now, kind of getting to a bigger school, Duke in the ACC. All right, so another year in the books, Coach. Why don't you look at the progress you have made this year on the goals we've talked about when you were hired? And I would imagine this is probably for an offensive coordinator. I'm really not sure. Anyway, they're at a 64% job security, 0 goals failed, 5 goals in progress, and they've already met 3 goals. They've won 6 games in this season, over 2,000+ offensive yards in one season, and they've won 4 games in one season, okay? So going forward, looking at a school, big-time program like Oregon, all right? You are a man of your word, Coach. That was on the list of things you said would be done before your contract was up. 70% job security. 2 goals failed. All right. 7 goals in progress, and they've already met 6 goals. And right now, their job security is safe. They're on the safe side here. You looking at that dial, it's in the red if it's not. See, it's marked in the red. It's marked in the green, meaning you're safe. All right. So during the season, have 1 recruit of a rank 1 through 5 star, and they haven't met that. That one was in progress, because right now we're looking at their in progress goals, okay? And now what you're looking at here is more than likely a head coaching contract. It's on 4 years, okay? But you're looking at the goals, and they are a lot different than the goals from the other schools, okay? And I can't see all of them, but these are the ones that are here. Beat a rival every season, okay? They're in progress of that. They're in 1 every season, means he has to beat 4 because the contract is on a term of 4 years. During the season, have a 10 4-star recruits, okay? Have 10 4-star recruits. And I would imagine this is talking about hosting, okay? Bringing in 4-star recruits, okay? Finish higher than 4th place in the conference every year, all right? They've done that 1 year, all right? So they've got 3 or they've already year 2 of 4 actually. So they're behind the 8 ball on that one, okay? Because it's contract year 2, or they're starting year 2. All right, so they're behind on that one. That's a huge impact. They want to finish in the 4th place every year. That's a very big deal, okay? And then receive a bowl bid every season. That is yet to be done right now, okay? or it's not marked as done, okay, or marked as that. But the goal of this, my goal in this is for you to see just how strenuous these goals are compared to smaller schools. Now, if you're a head coach of Central Michigan or FIU, okay, they're not going to be talking about 4- and 5-star recruits. You get what I'm saying? It maybe going to say 2-star recruits or 3-star recruits, or maybe win the conference. Okay, it's not going to be talking about, hey, we need to bring in 10 4-star recruits every season. Okay, we need to be finishing 4th place in the conference every year. Your goals are going to be drastically different, but the risk versus reward. So if you want to go, and I know it's a big background, but if you want to go and play with a Texas or a Georgia or an Alabama or an Oklahoma, okay. And this is pure speculation, guys, but based off of how the difficulty is to build up a big-time program, I feel like the game should equally create that same amount of pressure to maintain a big-time program. You get what I'm saying? So your contract should be difficult. And if I'm looking at this one, guys, these are difficult goals, okay? During the season, have one recruit of rank 1 through 5. That's not a big recruit. That's not a big deal. You're going to get recruits, okay? You're going to get recruits. Now, if this had said have one recruit of rank 1 through 5, no, actually, I take that back. This is a big time goal. This is a big deal. Okay, it's not saying have a star, a 1-star or a 5-star. No, they're saying during the season have one recruit, a top 5 recruit. My bad. That is a big deal. That is a big deal. You are not going to see Florida Atlantic ask you to bring in a top 5 recruit. That's not going to happen. All right. So for them to ask this is a big deal. And you can see while it impacts you positively, if you don't do it, that's a big risk versus reward right there. You want to bring that in. If you don't, that is huge. That's not an even trade-off right there. All right. Beat a rival school. You're probably going to see that at every school. That's not a big deal. During the season, to have 10 4-star recruits on a visit. Okay. That's a big deal. That is a huge deal, okay? But there's no pass or fail impact on that, okay? But you still want to do it. It still helps because it helps you with recruiting. Finish 4th place in the conference every year. Guys, imagine being in the SEC and they're asking you to do that, okay? This is what I'm saying. It's not going to be as hard to finish in the top 4 in the Sun Belt. But, guys, you being in the SEC with them big dogs, okay, the Big 10, the Big 12, and you're asked to finish in the top 4 or top 3 in the conference every year, that's an extremely difficult challenge. And then receive a bowl bid every season, okay? So with the bigger schools, guys, even in 14, there was a lot of risk versus reward. But I feel like the way that this game is structured, it's going to be even more of a challenge to accomplish that because of how difficult the game is. And I say that, can you make the game easier? Yes. But let's be honest, when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to the transfer portal, it's going to be difficult to maintain a big time program. You may think that it's going to be easier. Guys, there's only going to be 34 5-star recruits out of the 4,000 recruits that are going to be available. And I think that is including transfer portal guys, only 34, I think it said 34 5-star recruits available. All right. Let that sink in, guys. The number, that's crazy. That's crazy numbers. Okay. So you can see why those 5-star recruits are going to be so good. Okay. Very similarly, how many guys out of the tens of thousands of college players, less than 1% of that goes to the NFL. And so for those people who are kind of upset or maybe complaining about, these guys are going to be OP or this or that, they should be. And that's the beauty of college. And that's a perfect example of how the talent gap is so much wider in college and why college football will never play like Madden. Okay. So understand this, because I'm going to start a dynasty with Texas. I can't wait to see what those goals are, okay? But one thing that I would like that they would change, and people may disagree with me on this, is, hey, make bigger fail impacts. Because a little bit different from the year 2013 when this game was made as opposed to now. Coaches aren't given 4 and 5 years to make things happen. Like you may be given 3 or 4 years, but if you ain't getting it done in year 2, you're going to be out of there. Okay. But also the way that these contracts are set up is, hey, you can already be set up to fail at that point in time. Does that make sense? If year 2 and I haven't met any of these goals, I'm probably already here, and you could be terminated before your contract is up. That would be a really cool feature and give you a lot of risk versus reward kind of deal. Understand too, being at a bigger school, you're going to sign all these 4 and 5 star guys, but guys, understand this, they are going to want to play. They're not going to want to ride the bench. Okay, so understanding that they're going to want to be on the field. Now you got 3 guys at the running back position, and all 3 of them are going to want to play. They're going to want significant playing time. They're going to want to play in their home state. So yeah, it's all good to sign these 4 and 5 star guys, but they all come with promises that you got to meet. They all come with expectations, and it ain't just being on the winning program. Hey, you have one losing season, you might can lose half your roster to the transfer portal because the majority of them want to be on the national championship team. You know what I'm saying? You sign these 4 and 5 star guys, you get guys out of transfer portal that's coming for playing time. You got to really manage that. There is a different level of stress and anxiety when playing with these big time programs. When you're playing with a low time program, there's no expectation to win. You win a conference championship and you're the talk of the town. You know what I'm saying? It's expected with these big time schools. Roster management becomes even more important. The transfer portal becomes even more important because now you're signing the guys that are requiring a lot of you in their program. Does that make sense? If I'm playing with Kennesaw State, those 1 and 2 star recruits, they're probably not looking to go to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? They're probably not looking for a winning program. They're probably looking for more academics or, playing time maybe isn't as big of a deal. But you get up to the Oregons and the Floridas of the world, the LSUs, and the recruits that you sign, they don't want to be red shirt. They don't want to sit on the bench. They want to be out there playing. They want to be out there in the action. They want to be a big time player. They want to go to the NFL. They want to go to the national championship. They want to go to a major bowl game. And then the school is going to require certain things of your program as well, such as receiving those big time bowl bids, such as, hey, we need to bring X amount of 5-star recruits. We need to bring X amount of top 10 recruits. We need to bring X amount of 4-star recruits. You need to sign X amount of 4 or 5-star recruits. Guys, the pressure is not going to be any easier playing with a big time school, but that's a good thing. We should rejoice in that. We should like that because either way, it's a challenge and it's realistic to the game. You know that was coming, guys. It's realistic to the game. Big time programs have way more concerns or way different concerns, let me say that, than a smaller time program. Also, coaches. Can our coaches leave? Can our offensive and defensive coordinators leave? You got to understand, with a big time program, you getting these offensive and defensive coordinators in here and they're successful. You don't want them to leave because now your transfer guys can leave, or the players that are attached to that coach can leave. Yeah. If you fire them, they can leave. But guess what? If they take a head coaching job or an offensive coordinator job or defensive coordinator job somewhere else, those players are still at risk of leaving with them. And with a big time program, with big time success, comes coaches that are ready to climb the ladder quickly. Okay. You play with an Oregon and you win 2 back-to-back national championships. Your offensive coordinator, he's going to be, and you're leading the nation in offense, he's going to be getting crazy offers to be a head coach at some school. So that's another thing that you have to deal with. What do they say? More money, more problems, more success, different problems. Okay. So understand that, guys. I'm excited to see this game. I'm excited to play this game. I can't wait to see when they do the Dynasty deep dive that they talk about these types of deals, going in depth with the coach carousel and things like that. I think the next presentation deep dive is going to be over presentation of the game. The last one that we'll get will be Dynasty and Road to Glory. Man, it'd be so dope to get one this week, but I doubt it. I don't know. Maybe next week. But guys, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon so you don't miss a single upload, man. This evening, we will be going over the power spread formation, or the power spread offense. Okay, that was requested. We did defense yesterday. We're doing offense today. Till next time, y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.
EA Sports. It's in the game.